Chris gets to build the Team Canada roster here, and we're going to do this together. You could go back and watch our previous episodes. I also have the video separate for all the roster constructions there. Let's do a little Team Canada here. So we like to build down the middle, of course. And, this is one of those teams like, all right, well, McKinnon, Crosby, McDavid. Where are we slotting everybody here to start?
So the way I've envisioned this, if I was John Cooper, is obviously I would have McDavid center the top line. Okay. And then I would have Crosby center the second line. I would play McKinnon on the wing. That's
Buddy or McDavid?
With McDavid. I can you imagine? Well, I mean, I can because I've seen it. But McDavid and McKinnon on one line with that amount of speed is just, I don't know how you like pick your poison. Which one? Which one do you want to burn you in real time? The only slight downside, of course, they're both players who like to control the puck, zone entries, but I think they can figure it out. I think those are two of the most elite players. They'll get it done.
So you wouldn't do McDavid, McKinnon, and move Crosby to the wing with McKinnon?
I want Crosby to play center because that's where he's comfortable, right? Sid's played center now for the better part of a million years, right? McKinnon did play a little bit of wing when he was in junior. I know this is 100 million years ago when he played with Drouin. So he can do it. He's done it. We've seen him do it, right, at the Four Nations as well. So it's something that he's comfortable with. It still gives him the opportunity to, speed. If my memory serves me correct, I believe McKinnon's a right-handed shot. So, McDavid is a lefty. You have McKinnon as a righty. They can alternate face-off sides, right?
It's true.
Not right. So, it's kind of those things, right? The same way I'm pretty sure Draisaitl's a righty as well. So, they alternate sides on the face-off when they play together. To me, I just feel like that's how you want to deploy them, and then let Crosby center his own line. That's his.
All right, so let's let me get my let me pull people off my list here as we go along. So we got 3 right off the bat there. All right, so are we going to try and finish off the top line, or are we going to try and build down the middle here? Which way are we going next?
Let's do right wing here. Let's just plug Sam Reinhart in here with the big boys. Somebody's got to find the back of the net, right? Not that those two can't, but Sam Reinhart can score goals, and he's good defensively as well. Not that line's going to need to worry about being good defensively. Their best defense is being in the offensive zone. And again, this probably changes. I at first I had someone like Mitch Marner on that top line, which can work out as well. If you want, you move Reinhart down with Crosby. There's so many combinations, and there's no wrong answer. I have Mitch Marner on that second line with Crosby to start. Just another good passer, another good guy who can open up everything. We know that Sidney Crosby can score. He can, pass the puck as well. And then by default, I put Braden Point on that second line. Braden Point has scored 50. So he knows how to get the puck into the back of the net. I know he hasn't done it much.
He's having a down year.
He's having a down year, which is okay. But nothing is Sidney Crosby and a Mitch Marner can't. Mitch Marner is not there to shoot the puck, but he's an elite passer, right? Ask Austin Matthews how he feels. So, I mean, having Braden Point there, again, another player you can just swap in and out with Crosby if you want them to take, different face-offs and whatnot. That's perfectly fine.
No,
you could
Mark
also
Stone there.
I'm sorry?
No Mark Stone there on the wing?
Mark Stone, listen, Mark Stone, I've thought about it, playing Stone on the left, moving Point in the middle, because the third line that I've concocted together here consists of 2 children and an old man. So I have Celebrini in the middle.
Oh, there we go.
And then I have Connor Bedard on the left side. Right? I know he's a right-hand shot. Left side, doesn't matter. Right? That one-timer shot. And then I have Mark Stone there. Mark Stone can score goals. He can pass the puck. But you need somebody with a little bit of defensive knowledge on that line. I'm not saying Celebrini and Bedard can't, but that, to me, successful teams that win Stanley Cups and that win tournaments have third lines that can dominate. And listen, Celebrini has earned his right to be on this team. He's already he's up to 50 points. You leave him off this team, you're basically saying it doesn't matter. I will live with whatever defensive, you know, capabilities he doesn't have yet if he's out there doing what he's doing.
I think Celebrini has a spot on this team, and I'm not saying Bedard shouldn't have a spot on this team, but Celebrini to me has a more solidified spot than Bedard on the squad.
Fair. And again, you can move point down. You know, the problem is like, can you can put Mark Stone and Mitch Marner. They have a little bit of, you know, they have that chemistry there if you want. I just feel like this line here, there's Celebrini who can score, great passer. Mark Stone, very, very smart. You need somebody who's going to go in there and get the puck. Celebrini and Bedard are not necessarily the biggest guys here. Little bit of veteran presence on that line. Help them out a little bit. Let the two kids score. Mark Stone could be the guy who goes to the net, right? Understand your role. You know what I mean? Like, listen, this is the Olympics. You're going to have to get on board with whatever role you can carve out to be here.
All right. So we're through 3 lines here. Now you need that 4th line. You need that shutdown line. So what are we going to do here with that?
So since we're talking about shutdown, we're going to put Nick Suzuki there because he is a center. Like Suzuki, you could have played him with Celebrini and stuff like that. Sure. But I didn't want to start.
He's better served as a center in this scenario.
He's better served as a center. Nick Suzuki can understand the role that he needs to play. He has killed penalties for the Canadians. He plays 21 minutes a night. He's a great passer. He's smart. You can deploy him in yes, it's going to be limited roles, but you don't have to worry about him out there. It doesn't matter who he plays, right? That's kind of what you're looking for. Guys who you can trust in all situations. Nick Suzuki brings it. Then I need a little bit of, tough here. Brad Marchand is coming.
He's got to be here.
Listen, right. I can't like old man Marchand and that, you could put him on that top line. That second line with Crosby and Marner, but he was effective when he was playing with Sam Bennett, right, for Canada on that 4th line, and they carved it out. So Marchand doesn't have to be the guy here. He knows what his role is. He knows what he has to do, right? He's just going to get under your skin. He's good defensively as well. He's played it. And then it's Brandon Hagel for me. Same type of thing. Energy guy. Yes, he knows how to score, but again, you can trust him defensively as well. And again, depending on the combinations that you want to bring, if you're moving point into the middle, you want him to play with Hagel because there's that, that familiarity, sure. But at the same time, listen, a Marchand, Suzuki, and Hagel line, there's a lot of grit there, and there's a smart centerman. So I'll take it. Guys who can play well in their own zone, trusted all around the ice. You don't have to explain to John Cooper how it works, right? He gets it. He's like, fine, these guys can do the work. So that's how I've built my forward group here. In the extras and the 2 extra forwards I'm bringing, I've been convinced of it. I have. The more I look at it, the more it makes sense.
I know you're gonna say.
Tom Wilson.
I know.
I know. Tom Wilson to me plays against the United States. That's where you can use him, right? He has the offensive ability, right? But he has to be out there. And maybe he's a guy who cycles in, for Brandon Hagel. I don't know if Cooper would really do that there or, somebody else. Maybe it's Bedard who finds himself as the odd man out every once in a while. I don't know. But Tom Wilson has the physicality. You imagine a line with Marchand and Tom Wilson on the other side. That's causing some havoc, right? So I think Tom Wilson can come. The only thing is, listen, international referees, that's what's coming to the IOC. They are as black and white as possible. So, Tom Wilson's got to figure out a way to deliver hits and not get suspended. Because again, the IOC is perfectly fine with handing out a 5-minute major and a 10-minute misconduct for something that Tom Wilson does. So he's got to figure out. The last one here, there's been a lot of disrespect around this man, and I'm here to clarify that. Seth Jarvis is coming.
I was going to say, because he's a Swiss Army guy that could play all the spots. You need somebody like that.
You need somebody there. And I understand, because all of a sudden, here come Islander fans be like, what about Bo Horvat?
He's having a year. And
he's having a year. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Listen, Bo Horvat is playing out of his mind. Mark Scheifele's having a good year. But I need a guy who can do a little bit of everything. Seth Jarvis can do that. He has played center. That's not where I need him. He can play both sides of the wing. He is reliable defensively. He is all like he's what, just shy of I think 20 goals. Like he can do everything well. Yes, he didn't play in the gold medal game, but it's again through no fault of his own. These are some of the most elite players in the world. But Seth Jarvis is there. If one of those players were to get a little bit banged up, they can't go, or you need a little bit more responsibility, you can put Seth Jarvis on any one of those lines and get production out of him. That's what I want, Seth Jarvis. I can't get that from Bo Horvat, and I can't get that from Mark Scheifele, but I can get that from Seth Jarvis. If you need him to kill penalties, he can do it. There's a whole mess of things that he can do it. So I am a Seth Jarvis defender. He is coming.
I have no problem with Jarvis and Wilson being the extras. The only tweak I would make to the forwards here is I would probably swap Celebrini and Point, but Celebrini on the left side with Crosby, have Point be down the middle. That's the only change I'd really make here.
The only reason I did is because you probably want Sidney Crosby and Mitch Marner to play against the best players. So now you're asking Celebrini to have those tough matchups, right? He's got to watch, the Austin Matthews of the world, right? And those top line players that are just going to, they're elite and they'll burn you as quickly as Celebrini can burn you. So I was trying to find some space for him and say, hey, you don't have to play. I mean, it's subjective. You're the best players every night, right? Like, I get it.
You can build a whole second team Canada.
You can, but you can maybe just get a little bit of freedom for him. So he's not having to play like the top pairings every night. There's only so many players to go around. So maybe you ease him out a little bit. Maybe you give Celebrini, maybe that's, more second power play unit time and just ease them in. But I was just trying to find some space for the homie who I found out today has a younger brother who is playing in, I think it's the U16 or something.
I was talking to him like, you're coming next kind of thing.
And I'm like, there's another Celebrini. Like, okay, well, I guess we got to, tank for whenever he's draft eligible.
So we got picks coming up here in a couple of minutes. We're going to speed things up a little bit. I already put together the top pairing for Canada. We know it's Taves and Makar. Like, put it in. No reason talking about it. Who do we got here on the second pairing here? Is this a Josh Morrissey, Thomas Harley kind of situation?
Josh Morrissey, definitely. Colton Parenko, right? Big body, guy who plays well, shut down. Nothing wrong with bringing him here. On the third pairing here, I have been convinced of it. Like there's not a ton of elite Canadian defensemen, but Shea Theodore and Drew Doughty. Drew Doughty is an old man, but
no Evan Bouchard here.
No Evan Bouchard. Listen, I don't need Evan. Where is Evan Bouchard going to play? He's not going to quarterback a top unit, right? The top power play unit is Cale Makar's unit. So, and the second unit which will play sparingly, right? I'm guessing is Josh Morrissey's unit. So what am I using Evan Bouchard for? Like, it's not his defensive skills. I'm not bringing him to play defense. And if he's not getting an opportunity to play on the top power play unit, he's more of a liability than anything else.
I just can't believe you're recommending Drew Doughty after you were like beating.
I don't like it. I don't like it. But
Nations.
I don't. But do I trust Drew Doughty late in a game over Evan Bouchard? 100%. And Drew Doughty can play, his 15 minutes, play it well, get the puck out, block shots. That's what I'm going with.
All right. We got our forward. Who's going to be the spare defenseman now? Looking on the list that I have got here, is that a Thomas Harley situation? Did Matthew Schaefer play his way on? Do we want a Mackenzie Weegar, Travis Sanheim? What are we looking at?
Thomas Harley for sure. I know it's been a down year, but if he's the 7th or 8th / defenseman, that's fine. He stepped in at Four Nations and was really good. Maybe this is what he needs, get a little bit back. I am bringing Matthew Schaefer. I'm bringing Shave Daddy. He may not play, right? Or he'll be sheltered, but he's proven that he can play in the NHL. So, and in sheltered minutes, sure. Or maybe at least have him be there for the experience, right?
So maybe he's the guy the next Olympics.
Yeah, but you know what?
International tournament.
If I'm bringing Mackenzie Weegar, who is having an absolutely disastrous season, right? I already have that. I already have that in Thomas Harley. So I'm banking on him having a better opportunity, right? I'll bring Schaefer and see what you get out of it. The skill is there. It's he's got to skate. He's got to do what he's got to do.
All right. So we got the blue line though. Logan Thompson's a starter at this point. Like
Yes.
he's Vezina favorite at this point. Like there's no point even debating that. Now it gets interesting. Is it Binnington? Is it Scott Wedgwood? Is it Mackenzie Blackwood? Is it Darcy Kemper? Who are you going to be? I think you have to take Binnington at this point just because of what he did at Four Nations. Even if he's your third goalie, you got to bring him. And because your options are limited. So who's not getting that last spot? Or would you rather just bring both Avalanche goalies and call it a day? Which I'm sure Joe Sakic would not be thrilled about, but nonetheless.
I like before Darcy Kemper got ran over by Mikko Rantanen again, who was turned into prime Tom Wilson. I had Mackenzie Blackwood on this list and Kemper. I'm going to assume Kemper's not healthy enough to make it. So I guess you bring Jordan Binnington, right? But I don't want to, because like he's not even the best goalie on his team. Like he's like Joel Holford started more games over the in the last 10 than Binnington has. So what am I getting out of Binnington? Like
All right.
what is like I would have no problem being Blackwood and Wedgwood. Give me 2 Woods and a Thompson, and I'm okay with it.
I think just because Binnington's been on this team, I think this is Binnington's last international team, last time on Canada's team. I think you have to bring him regardless of performance this year. And yeah, I think you bring Mackenzie Blackwood as the other one. Like you said, if Darcy Kemper if he was healthy, he gets that spot. But now you take Blackwood instead. So there you go. There's Team Canada's roster. Tell us what we got right. Tell us what we got wrong. You can find this online or totalhockeynow@gmail.com.